Hey guys, this is take 2 of this video. Not that you would know that because you're not going to see take 1. But anyways, we're getting ready to move the sheep. Talk a little bit about the sheep today. Probably repeat some of the things I've already said. But oftentimes I think if I know it, everybody must know it. And I kind of find different times that that's not the case. Apparently not everybody's as big of a nerd about farming as I can be at times. I do an awful lot of reading about farming. I don't know, just what I like, I guess. So anyways, one of the big questions I get, excuse me, about the sheep is, why do we raise sheep? And most people, when they think of sheep, they think of wool. We do not raise sheep for wool. We're not making clothes. Hillary is not at all interested in clothes making, whatever the technical term for that is. I'm not interested in spinning wool or something like that, although my mother-in-law would be. No, we raise our sheep for consumption. We raise our flock of sheep here, which are mainly Katahdin. Our ram, which is the black-headed guy there, he is what they call black-headed Dorper. And a sheep is pregnant for approximately 5 months. So we turned our ram in with our sheep, our ewes, December 12th. So we should be expecting lambs to start dropping on the ground somewhere around May 6th. Hannah's. Hey Hannah. That's probably everybody's favorite part, these dogs, that I'm finding out. But anyways, what else? We manage our sheep the same way as we've kind of alluded to in a previous video. They are in a paddock for a set amount of time, and that varies. It's been anywhere from 1 day up to 4 days. I don't really like to stretch it to 4 days if I can help it, because I don't know so much about in the winter time here. But in spring, summer, fall, from what I understand, after about the 4th day, the parasite activity, if you will, can get down. Can get to a point where it can reinfect the sheep if they're eating next to next to where they went to the bathroom. That is another thing we don't do. We don't worm. Excuse me. Getting back to basically with our farming, what we're trying to do is mimic creation, and I've talked about this before. Obviously, animals in the wild aren't being wormed and that sort of thing. So that's what we're trying to do here. I don't believe sheep and goats alike can be known for having issues with parasites. Parasite meaning worms, that sort of thing, to the point where a lot of sheep farmers, a lot of goat farmers will worm on a regular basis because they have to. My understanding and what I'm trying to prove to myself, I guess, is down, Hannah. We shouldn't have to worm. If the animals are constantly moving and not coming back to the same place to graze until well after that ground has had a chance to rest, the parasites haven't had a chance to cling to anything to continue their life cycle, then there shouldn't be any reason to worm. That's how we treat our cattle. That's how we treat our sheep. And we will continue to do that. We won't let an animal suffer. If we do have what appears to be a problem with worms with a specific animal or something, we will quarantine that animal. We will treat it because we don't want to, like I said, we won't let an animal just suffer. But we won't keep that animal on our farm. We will nurse it back to health, and we'll send it to auction. So you might be thinking, so we're pawning our problem off on somebody else? In a sense, yeah. It's not meant to be that way, but a lot of folks that raise sheep in a setting that they just worm. They have to, because their sheep aren't moving. Their sheep are on one paddock, and the sheep are all looking at me like, what am I doing? But anyways, so oftentimes worming is just part of what they do. That's not the route that I'm taking. I believe that we can still make a decent living farming. I think we've gotten so far away from how things were created to work. We have propped our animals up so much that the farmer has so much expense in just raising that animal to its final product, whatever that may be, that there's not much left. There's not much left as far as the profit margin. And the result of that is we don't have anybody wanting to be a farmer anymore. 9 people out of 10, probably 99 out of 100. If you tell them you want to be a farmer, the first comment is there's no money in farming. And a lot of that is true, but I don't think it has to be true. I don't think that needs to be the death sentence for farming. We need to get young people re-interested in farming. And this was supposed to be a sheep talk, so I'm not sure how it got to this, but yeah, so anyways, I don't know where I went with all that, but I'll try and bring this back around. So with our sheep, we don't worm, no antibiotics. Again, if we did have to treat an animal, it's not going to stay here. We're not going to keep it. And with that being said, we do need to move some animals at times. We've been very fortunate, very blessed that I can really only think of one cow that we've had to treat, and it left the farm once it was healthy again. But we have propped our animals up for so long that we have to kind of bring them back into their original design, so to speak. And that's going to take time. So with that being said, I'm going to try and get this wrapped up. I'll try and record moving the sheep here. Hannah, Gideon, come on. So let's move these sheep real quick, and then this video will be about wrapped up. Come on, girls. You've seen this in a previous video, but we'll show you again. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. Atta girl. And into their new paddock they go. This is only going to be a one-day paddock. So they'll have their way with this, pick and choose what they want. Trample on some of that, feeding our soil microbes, which is one of the #1 things we can focus on, is our soil microbes. And we'll move them on. So they won't be back on this piece of ground. We are at our home farm. We're not on the lease farm now. I moved, well, I think you've seen that in the video maybe. We moved the sheep from the lease farm back to the home farm last Saturday. So they'll be here all winter. And then they will probably only cross over this farm once this winter. By the time they get to the end of the farm, it'll be spring and it'll be time to move back to the lease farm. So right now with our sheep flock and the numbers we carry, we don't have to set foot on the same piece of ground but once in a year's time. We are hoping to continue to increase the size of our flock, so that will eventually change. But anyways, that's all for now, guys. Dang, here we are, 10 minutes in, and I did not once mention subscribe, so I'll mention it now. subscribe, hit the like button. Super tremendously appreciated. And if there's any questions that anybody has about anything, I'll try and answer it. Can't guarantee anything, but I'll try. And until the next time.